Good morning, traders. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Remember to give the channel a sub and a like for the video. Your support is always welcome. Let's move over to the calendar and see what we've got on today. We have FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. So not something I'm really concerned about. I don't trade the PM session anyway. So for me personally, I'm not really concerned. So we'll just roll into the AM session as per normal. Obviously, keeping in mind the current volatility of the market. So let's go and have a look at the charts. Remember too, guys, you can grab your Tradeify evals at a discounted rate for the month of April. They've got their spring sale on with 40% off for new users. So take advantage of that. That's across all accounts. Great deal. They have the straight to SIM funded accounts as well, and 30% off for current or existing users. Apex also have a 50% off deal whenever you use code Jimmy. 50% off for your evals. We've got CPI tomorrow. I'll be looking at OSOC, trying to pass some evals during that news event. Alrighty. So we had a neutral bias yesterday, NQES. What we were looking for though, and what did play out, was we were looking for previous day high. That was our low hanging fruit. We wanted previous day high to be swept, and then we were looking for price to move out of that bearish FEG and look to move lower. We did have quite a move. If we go from the high to the low, that was a 6% move. So we were very close to circuit breaker territory in that move lower. Also, with circuit breaker, you've got to keep in mind that some prop firms won't allow you to trade within 2% of the 7% circuit breaker level. So keep that in mind. Check the prop that you trade with. Be sure to look into their rules and make sure that you can or can't trade. Personally, if you're that close to the circuit breaker, I wouldn't be risking my accounts in any case. And in fact, this week is looking to be a little bit challenging. The volatility is quite high, so we're having much larger stops than usual as well. So we need to be considerate of all those things. But whilst, moving back to the chart here, whilst NQ didn't take previous day high, ES did. So we have a bearish SMT with our correlated asset being ES. ES swept the previous day, swept the previous day high ES and into a bearish daily FVG. So at that point, looking for price to reverse. We got that reversal, and quite a reversal it was. Moving to today's price action, we're currently respecting the bottom quarter or the bottom quadrant of the previous day's range. At this stage, I would be still looking for lower prices here. Even though we've taken previous day low already, I'd be looking for the potential for Monday low to be swept here. There's also a chance we could just move sideways or consolidate with CPI tomorrow. So keep that in mind as well. I'll be looking for bearish price action today. We'll move down to the hourly. We'll see if we've got a change in state of delivery. So we actually do have a change in state of delivery at the moment. So that is good to see if price is going to move higher. We've already respected this level once. We have a bullish breaker here. We are at a point of interest on the weekly. So we are at a bullish point of interest here on the weekly. This will be my invalidation level. So although I've got a bearish bias, If price comes back down here again and continues to support this level or find support at this level, then I'll be looking for price to run higher. We break down through this level. First point will be looking for price to disrespect the 50% level of these opposing candles here. So that's my bearish scenario. Bullish scenario, we can run our standard deviations here, would see us reach back for previous day high as a target area. So I'm willing and happy to pivot as I see what price is doing. And currently, while we remain in support here, then I would likely look for longs, potentially just looking for the London high here to be swept out. And then at that point, even maybe we'll start to see a reversal again. So currently looking at that scenario for NQ. Let's push back out to the daily and move over to ES. And here we can see that SMT through the high here into that bearish point of interest. And if we run the measure down here for our 50% level, our quadrant at the bottom here, we can see we're respecting that level as well. So again, looking with a similar idea here, most recent information, we're pushing out of a bearish point of interest on the daily. Yes, we have swept previous day low. However, while we respect the bottom quarter of the previous day's range, I'll be looking for price to move lower. And if we move down to the hourly, likely got a similar scenario to NQ. We do have a change in the state of delivery. We do have displacement here as well. Again, are we going to see the London session swept, or will we just break down from here? This again being the level, the invalidation level for price to move lower, or we bounce from here and we'll run those projections and we'll get an idea of where price might head to. And again, previous day high. So that'll be the target area for bullish. Bearish target area. I will include this bearish candle in the move lower here because there's no swing point. All right. So I'm looking at this as one move. This being the Monday low aligns perfectly with the -2 to -2.5 standard deviation. So that's our bearish target area. So a couple of scenarios there. And let's see what plays out when the market opens. Moving over to oil on the daily. And we are continuing to bleed here with oil as well. So yesterday we had our bias correct. We were looking for price to continue to move lower, and we did in fact get that move. And here is our first target level, which we're reaching for at the moment. But these relative equal lows. But my real draw is the low here, this low of this wick. That's my real draw. So let's move to down to the hourly. I just want to run the projections off here, see where we're at. Okay, cool. So we're going to close through the -2.5 and the -4 sees price reaching for this level here. So we've closed beyond the -2.5, and you can see that reaction we had here at the -2 to 2.5. Both times, this level, slowed price, consolidated price, we finally get a close through. Now we can look for price or anticipate price to reach the -4 standard deviation. And if we're going to go that far, why not go down to here and take out this low? So that is what we're looking for oil. Have a look at the hourly. I'm going to clear that up for now, but we can see that we've got that trend moving right down here. As we continue to respect bearish PD arrays off this swing high, which is in a bearish FEG as well. We took out the highs here yesterday. Oh, no, we didn't. We put in equal highs, actually. So that'll be an interesting level for price to want to draw back to at some point. So now we're going to look to see if we get a close through the opposing candles here. And that will then give us the continuation for the bearish move. And if we run the standard deviations off this manipulation leg here, this will be our target. And if we go back out to the daily, we can see that our target there is aligned perfectly with that -2 to 2.5. So that's where I'm anticipating price to draw to. So we'll find out as we move into the session today and see what happens with the market. We do also have oil inventories today. So oil inventories at 10:30 Eastern time. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Back out to the daily and over to Euro futures. Price had a bit of a run here yesterday. We've got a little move higher. We've had a bit of a push here today as well. I'm not convinced that is the real move. Maybe a Tuesday low of the week. Not really coming off a point of interest here. Other than, you know, we've found support on these opposing candles to the 50% level. I've perfectly found support there. So, you know, maybe we are getting a move higher here. Let's jump down to the hourly. We have a nice change in the state of delivery here. Clear that chart up. It's a nice change in the state of delivery. We've got displacement here. This is giving us a bullish breaker, an hourly unicorn. And if we want to run our standard deviations, we can draw out our target area. Let's go. And that lines up with that high we were looking at on the daily. So that's actually perfectly aligned there, right at the middle of that target area. And while we continue to respect this level, then we're going to be looking for price to run higher. We can see that we've respected this bearish, this bullish FEG here on the hourly as well. I think we might even just run with a bullish bias here. All right, let's look at Dixie because that's our correlated asset. They are inversely correlated, I should say. Okay, so we're moving straight out of that gap and we're moving lower here. And it is looking like we will continue to reach for the lows down here. A bearish bias for Dixie. If we have a look at the hourly, so we've also got an inverted SMT through the highs here as well with euros. So definitely confluence there for price to want to push lower. So I'm happy to run with a bearish bias, looking for this level here as our initial target. We can see that we've pushed up into this gap and we've respected that as well. All right, gold on the daily. Beautiful. We had a bullish bias yesterday, and look at how, you know, the bias didn't play today until today, but we did. It was very indecisive yesterday. Okay, let's put it that way. We have finally got some momentum here. It looks like quite a bullish move here at the moment. We have swept previous day low and we've swept previous day high. We're still an inside bar to Monday's range. So we haven't broke out of Monday's range yet. And that would be my target. This would be my draw on liquidity, will be Monday's high. If we move down to the hourly, we had the standard deviations drawn out here off that failure swing. And that lines up perfectly with Monday's high. Again, change the state of delivery through here as well. And we're just having a nice move here with displacement. So let's continue with the bullish bias for gold. Having a look at GU on the daily now. So we had a bearish bias yesterday. Looks like we had that wrong. We did get a bullish closure. We found support in this bullish FVG here. We did get a change in the state of delivery here. And price also respected this breaker. Look, to the tick, we've got a close and an open on that 50% level. Yes, we manipulated it, but the bodies tell the story. Okay, and look at how we respected that. Even when we did come back down, we wicked off that level. All right, so at the moment, you know, potential for reversal here maybe, but we are supported in this bullish FEG here on the hourly at the moment. And we don't have any displacement here for a move lower. So happy to see price continue to move out of there. And if we run the standard deviations from the low to the high, we'll be straight up to those equal highs for our target, which is beautiful, perfectly aligned target area. All right, beautiful. Let's go to Bitcoin now. On the daily. So yes, we didn't find support there at that 50% level. Let's get rid of that. But we've got that closure through. Now what I'm looking at, and I'm going to just clear some of this stuff off the chart. Okay. So inside bar yesterday, what's drawing my eye is the low here from Monday. That for me is the low hanging fruit. And not that I want to see Bitcoin move lower, but that's how I feel, or what I'm seeing here. It looks like price will move lower. Price respecting, you know, this bottom quadrant, we haven't been able to push up to the 50% level. So we're at that 25% level currently. And I would say we're going to likely go down to and get into this gap here, looking for, that sort of 70, what do we got? 74 to 70,000 region. And gee, I hope we get a bounce from there. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Please remember to share the channel far and wide. I believe we provide a lot of value here, and it is free. We obviously also have Trade Foundry, which is our free Discord community. So be sure to share the channel far and wide. Join the Discord. Link is in the description. And be sure to grab those Tradeify and Apex evals as well. All right, guys, take care. Have a safe Wednesday. We'll catch you on stream in Trade Foundry about 9:15 this morning. Bye for now.